Hey guys, welcome to RC Tech Works, and today it's a very sad day. My mouse has died. My favorite mouse, the mouse that has been with us ever since the beginning-ish of this YouTube channel. But to be more specific, the left click has died. Basically what I mean is it is double clicking, and also if you try to hold and drag something, then it just lets go of it randomly. So instead of throwing it out, we're gonna fix it with some of these. Now, these are Kali Red 4.0 switches, and thankfully Logitech didn't use proprietary mouse buttons in this mouse. So you can switch them out to, or replace them, and also upgrade them, which is what we're doing here today. Now you can go online and do some research on which ones you want to get, but these are just standard mouse switches, and they're supposed to solder right on the G502. Let me show you what's going on with it, and then let's replace the switches. Alright, so we are over here at one of my computers, and I got the mouse plugged in, as you can see here. Alright, so just to demonstrate kind of what it's doing is, let's see, I have this file here. We're gonna do the click and drag test. Yeah, see, it just let go. Okay, so far it's working. So something is definitely wrong here. So let's open this thing up and start replacing it. Alright, the first thing we need to do is remove the feet from the bottom of the mouse. So by using a screwdriver here, you can start taking them off to access the screws. Now please keep in mind, this will destroy your feet, so I would recommend getting some new feet. Alright, there we go. We have access to the 3 Phillips screws. So I'll grab my Phillips driver and remove those. Alright, make sure you do not forget this screw in here, guys. Otherwise, it will not come apart. Alright, now let's put in our plastic thing here. See if we can get this apart. There we go. See, it is coming apart now. And also up here, also need to get it, because there's a few snaps here. There we go. See, it is coming apart. Just be careful with it. There it is. Alright, we need to first disconnect this wire here. Just lift up on this little tab here to unlock it, and then you can pull the ribbon cable out, just like that. Alright, there's your sideboard with some other clickers, but we don't need that right now. But we do need to remove it, I guess. So, same thing like this one, just lift it up. Alright, so next you need to remove the scroll wheel here. And you can do that by just using a screwdriver to push this pin out, like that. And you can pull it out the rest of the way. And then this should just lift off, just like that. Now your scroll wheel assembly is out. Alright, next, we need to remove this screw here and these 2 screws here. So far it's looking like they use all the same size screws, which is very nice. There's another one, and a spring came with it. That is right here. So please be careful when disassembling this. Maybe these 2 screws here also have to come out that are in there. Alright, those are removed. Yes, now the board comes out, and we can remove the USB cord. Wow, that is tight. Well, I'm just gonna leave that on there. It's not too big of a deal, because our switches that we are replacing are right here. Alright, so as you can see here, they're just 3 pins. So this one and this one. So I need to desolder those and resolder on the new switches. So I have my soldering iron over here, got my flux if you need it. And to remove the old ones, I am going to use my handy dandy hot air gun. So I'm going to use it to heat all of them up, and then I will remove the switch with some needle nose pliers. Start warming up the solder pins. I don't care too much if the old one gets damaged. I just need it removed so I can put the new one on. Alright, it should start letting go here pretty soon. And there you go. Ta-da! And by the way, if you're wanting to know what the stock switch is, this is what it is. Let's remove the other one. There it is. I'm going to put some more flux on and use a solder wick to remove the solder. Okay. Get my soldering iron out here, and we just lay this on. I'm going to clean it up a little bit with some isopropyl alcohol, and then we'll slide the switch in there. And I'm just going to wipe it down a bit. Same with the other side. Now we can put our switches in. Okay, and finish this one. There we go. That looks good. And we can do some cleanup. Okay, now let's try to get the other switch in. Okay, switch is in. So let's start soldering up. Here we go. Alright, let's clean it up. Our switches have now been installed. Now let's put everything back together and see if it works. Alright, so let's put our board back in. Run up the holes here. There we go. Alright, I'm going to put this ribbon cable in now. Okay, let's start screwing down our board. If you guys want to know or have step-by-step details on how to do this, there is a link in the description to an ifixit page that shows you how to disassemble and reassemble this mouse. And plus there's also many other mice on there that you can reference and use to replace your switches. Alright, those screws are in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we have these little springs that go in here. There we go. Now our mouse wheel. Slide this through. Ta-da! Alright, now a sideboard here. Of course, I broke the clip off, so hopefully it stays in. I'm going to put some hot glue on that after I make sure everything is working. Okay, now it's time to put the top on. That felt good. There it is. Nice. Alright, look at that. Got clicks again. Very nice. Alright, before I put all the screws in and everything, let's hook it up to a computer and see if it actually works. So far, the sensor works. That's good. Let's reload this. Alright. Scroll backwards. Yep. Scroll forwards. Yes. Okay, right click. Yep. Left click. Yes. Awesome. So now let's head over to double click test and see if we have any double clicking like we had last time. Uh-oh. Got one. Whoops. Hold on. There we go. So now I'm doing the right click. So it seems like it still does a little bit. That's too bad. Oh well. But now let's go to my main problem, was dragging this around and it letting go. And so far, as you can see, it is doing great. Look at that. You can actually drag stuff around. Woo-woo. Sweet. So I'm gonna say it's fixed. All right. Well, let's get the feet replaced on it and get it all put back together, and then we'll wrap it up. I got some new feet from Talon Games because I knew when I took off the feet that they weren't going to be usable again. So there are these nice white feet, which I think will add even more to the Stormtrooper look. Anyways, it comes with these cleaning wipes here, and I've already done mine, but you can wipe down all the surfaces to remove any of the leftover residue. Alright, because I forgot to put the screws back in, let's put those in now. Alright, all the screws are in, and we're ready for feet. So let's start with this top one here. It just has some adhesive on the back here. Next I'm going to do the bottom. Alright, get this set on here. Adjust it and line it up. And now stick it down. Alright, now I'm going to do this side piece over here. Alright, now I'm going to do this triangle piece. Now these little tiny feet for the center around the sensor. Alright. There it is. Ooh, nice. That's better than the heavily used old ones. Very nice. Cool. And it looks like that now. Well, there it is. We successfully repaired this, well, mouse that was basically useless. Saved it from the trash. Very nice. Alright. Well, that is how you fix your G502. Replace the switches in it. So we have clickers again. And of course, Trinity scroll and that scroll. Love this thing, guys. Alright. Well, thank you guys for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Alright, bye.